Do you want to introduce this one?
Or what, episode 4?
We're episode 5 now.
5.
5. Hi, and welcome to Saturday Night Convos, where we will be discussing trending topics, the latest things going on in the world, and whatever might be happening in our own lives. Nothing is off the table here. So pull up a chair, grab a drink, and join us for a Saturday night conversation.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of Saturday Night Convos. I am Ashley.
And I'm Regan.
And we are here for another episode. So, Regan, how was your week?
It was good. I spent a lot of time in the woods. No, you know what? Actually, yesterday my sister and I, we got out of town and we went to a little town in the middle of nowhere called Port Glasgow.
Mm-hmm.
It literally has a trailer park and a beach and a white church and a flower shop. And there's a yacht club at the beach. That's it, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. But it was beautiful. It was a blue flag beach. And I got some really good pictures. Like, the waves were insane. It was a good day, though. And then we went to, like, some conservation area. Again, out in the middle of nowhere. But it was
That's
good.
awesome. It sounds like a good day.
It was a really good day. And then today,
Awesome.
I really didn't do anything. I went shopping. I didn't buy anything, though. I waited 10 minutes to try pants on, but, you know.
Yeah, that sounds
COVID
fun.
time, right? Like, yeah. What did you do this week, Ash?
I was like going through and being like, what did I do at the start of the week?
Mm-hmm.
My weekend last weekend was pretty busy. So at the start of the week, I didn't do a whole lot. And then I did do lots of bike rides. Today was crazy. We went to Point Peely. And because it was my partner's birthday yesterday, so we went with his brother because he has an identical twin, and we biked almost the entire thing.
Wow, so how long would that be?
It was 16 kilometers.
Wow, so you literally, like, went right to the edge of the park.
We did. So we, like, started at, like, one of the, we just, like, pulled in at one of the parking lots and we just started biking. And, like, we literally biked to where you couldn't stop biking, and then we walked, and it was, yeah.
Sounds really pretty. Sounds nice. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Good.
So that was today, and then, but beforehand, I had already, like, walked for an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm actually feeling pretty good, but like, my partner's brother is like, but I've been biking, right? Like, that's
Yeah. That's hilarious.
So yeah, that was today, but that was lots of fun. And then I've went on some other bike rides this week, and yeah, just
sounds like that's how you've been spending your time.
Yeah, I've been biking a lot.
Yeah.
And then your screen changed.
Yeah.
And then also this week I had to take my dog in because I think I was telling you this earlier, or like later or earlier this week, her two of her teeth are infected.
Oh.
So she's on antibiotics, and because of the location of them, it like was going up into like her eye.
Oh my goodness.
So I was like, what's wrong with her eye?
Wow.
So she potentially has to get like dental surgery later this month. So I'm like, oh, my baby. And
how old is your dog?
My dog is turning 14 in September. So yeah. So it's nerve-wracking, right? Because you don't want to put them into anything that is going to cause them pain, but then it's also like you don't want it to happen again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for sure.
Yes, my poor dog, but she looks so much better.
Oh, well, that's good.
But yeah, so that was a little bit stressful at the start of the week.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
So she doesn't travel well in a car.
Oh,
And
okay.
earlier in the week, I was like, oh, maybe I'll take her camping. And then I was like, this happened. I was like, probably not.
No. Are you guys going? You guys are going camping soon, right? You have the trailer ready?
Probably in a week and a half.
Nice. Where are you going to go?
Probably. I'm hoping a Lord Gorge if there's campsites available. If not,
they're in high demand this year.
Yes, that's the problem. If not, we'll just choose somewhere else.
Yeah.
We're not picky.
You could go up to the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? Where does your partner go hunting? Way up, right?
He was gonna go way up, but nobody got a I don't even know what they're called, a ticket. Nobody got any of those, because it's on a lottery system. And if they don't get those, you can't hunt anything, because one person in your hunting party has to have a ticket thing. And nobody got one. So they're just going hunting for bears. And I'm like, there will be no bears hanging in my house.
Oh my goodness.
No,
the poor bears.
No bears.
The poor bears.
Well, last year they were hunting for moose.
The poor moose. Did they actually catch one?
No.
Okay, well.
They were gone for a week. They saw, I think they saw a moose.
Okay. All right, so basically it's just about going out to the middle of nowhere and hanging out.
Literally. And they fish. Male bonding week.
Male bonding. Well, the three of you could go up there to the middle of nowhere and look for moose and bears and fish.
Yeah.
No, not so much.
Which I'm okay with. I'm just not I don't want to go fishing.
Yeah, I don't think I do fishing either. Especially if you have to touch the fish. That's the part that creeps me out.
And cleaning it. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I know.
That would probably put me off fish. Forever. I would just stop eating fish. I would become full vegetarian.
Yeah. Don't do that.
So
well, it sounds like you had a very eventful week.
Yeah. It was just unique in its own way. And we went to phase 3, which was exciting. And Windsor Essex has been holding rallies because people feel like we shouldn't be wearing masks. I swear. It was on the Concerned Citizens group.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
Because I'm our numbers are still higher.
Yeah.
Probably a third of the cases in Ontario.
Yeah.
Are not. I shouldn't quote it, but still, there are a significant number of cases still in this area.
Yeah.
And yet people are still just there was a rally of 100 people in Essex.
Wow.
And they're like, we're planning another one. Why? Just wear the effing masks.
Oh my goodness.
I don't like wearing them either. I have asthma. If I'm wearing glasses and I'm wearing a mask, my glasses look like I'm fogging.
Yeah. No, I don't enjoy the mask either, but I wear it to wear it.
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd probably put it at a 3.
You know what?
But I do it.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? Wearing a mask is a whole lot damn better than, being sick or being in the hospital on a ventilator or whatever else, right? So, I mean, we had 12 cases here today. 12, that's the highest amount of cases that we had today.
Probably because of the movie theaters. I'm just kidding. I'm completely kidding.
No, it's actually travel. People are traveling to the US of all places.
Oh, really?
Yep. And actually, there were 7 people today under the age of 19 that got it.
Really?
From family.
Yeah. And yet kids don't get it,
Oh, don't worry. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
We're going to talk about that.
That's on your list.
That's on my list. What's on your list, Ashley?
I have a few things.
Okay.
Do you want to get into our list?
Before we start, before we go any further, let's just say, so episode 4 dropped. So if you're listening to this next Saturday, episode 4 dropped last week. And we had our first guest, Cassie. And if you haven't listened to it, you should really go check it out because she's doing some amazing things.
And it is spectacular.
Yes. And we talk a lot about social media and especially like marketing with social media. So if you're into any of that or interested in it, go check it out. But listen to this first and then go check it out. All right. Let's jump into it. You want to go?
Okay.
Yeah.
No, you start with your list and then I'll work.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll start. Okay.
You
All
have
right.
a full mine's just on my phone.
Dude, you know what? I do better with writing things down. But yeah. Okay. So this has been a very popular topic across the world because school is going back in so many places.
Yes.
And so I started thinking about it yesterday because we have a cousin who lives in Australia. We have a bunch of cousins. They all come out of the woodwork. There's like 300 people in, this family. But anyway, so this cousin that lives in Australia, he has 2 kids. And every Friday he posts a photo on Facebook and the kids are all excited and the caption is, "It's Friday."
Yay!
Yay, Friday! Anyways, I was looking at it yesterday and his 2 kids are school-aged. And so I started wondering about the restrictions that they have in schools in Australia because here everybody's freaking out about class size, air quality, whether kids should or should not wear masks, what school buses look like, everything under the sun you can imagine. So I didn't email, I Facebook Messenger, whatever you want to call it. And I asked him, I was like, what are the restrictions like where you're at? So
he's in Melbourne, right? Melbourne?
No, he's in Adelaide.
Adelaide.
So South Australia. The province is called South Australia. Anyways, so his daughter is in preschool 2 to 3 times a week. His son, I believe his son is in grade 1.
Yes, because she's the same age as Liam and he's 2 years older. Yes.
Yeah. So I was like what are the restrictions? Like, do they have to wear masks? Do they have to do all this stuff? And he emailed me back and he's like, no, there are no restrictions there.
But their cases have been a lot lower than ours.
Their cases have been a lot lower than, yes, that is very true. Here, I'll read you exactly what, because I found it really interesting, actually. So he said they have had no issues, no restrictions. Everything is normal. We've had a school close here due to one person having it, but that's it. So their big thing is contact tracing and closing the schools down immediately if there's a positive case. Whereas,
makes sense.
Exactly. Whereas here it's, if a classroom has an outbreak, those people will go in quarantine. Anyways. So contact tracing and all of this stuff. And I was like, that seems so simple.
Yeah, it does.
Compared to here where everybody is freaking out about everything, right? There's protests and the unions are blocking and it's so simple there. And I was like, so you're telling me that everything that people are going on about here is really just not necessary, I guess. And he said, yeah, you can't stop it by putting plexiglass dividers between them. Just let kids be kids. One kid infected, then the whole school needs to be closed and cleaned, then traced. Family has to go into isolation and monitored. So their big thing is making sure people that are supposed to be in quarantine are in quarantine, getting people tested right away, that sort of thing. Anyway, so I Googled this. And one of the things for me, I've been paying a lot of attention to this over the last week, and it's starting to cause me anxiety because I work in the schools.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of curious about how other parts of the world have handled this. I
Mhm.
found this article. I will post the link, but it basically examines what schools have done, kind of the major high points and the things that it's hard to describe what the trends are, I guess. So
Mhm.
basically the article goes through everything from like should children wear masks to are children more likely, or is society in general more likely to see a rise in cases when the schools open. So the article makes clear that that young children are less likely to get the virus. We already know that, right?
Mhm.
It's children above the age of 10, 11 that are more easily able to transmit it. High school students
Mhm.
transmit it because they move through everything so often. Anyways, so basically it just goes through I won't go on about it forever and ever, but it just basically goes through like what other places are doing. And
Mhm.
what I found really interesting was that masks are widely standard in Asia, China, Japan, Taiwan. Taiwan had masks and the kids were in school while while their surge was happening. I was like, okay, so they didn't have to close their schools, right?
Mm.
Because they were able to control it in that way.
Mhm.
Um yeah, and then it just goes through like when do classes close. So every place is different. In Israel, if one person tests positive, they close down the entire school and they test the people closest to that person, right? And then so the bottom line of the article, this is what I got from it, is that there's a lot of unknowns, but obviously the things that work, hand washing, space, contact tracing, those are the most
Mhm.
important, as well as the masks. The risk to the wider public with schools reopening is small, according to a European study. So when
Mhm.
schools opened in the spring in Europe, Denmark's cases declined. The Netherlands, their cases remained flat when their schools opened. And then Finland, Belgium, and Austria found no evidence of increased spread.
Hmm.
So I don't know. What is you, because you're a mom, right? You have to make this decision too.
Yeah.
Um, like, I don't know. I feel like, yes, we have to be cautious, but at the same time, are we overthinking this? Are we worrying ourselves into trouble?
I think we might be. Like I'm not disagreeing with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um I think in our cousin's case, I think they're handling it well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Um
Yeah.
but I don't think we're doing that. I don't think we're like contact tracing like that, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
it's what kind of bugs me down here is that there's no like I've seen cases where they're not revealing that there was exposure,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. So if
Potential
somebody,
exposure.
right. So
Yeah.
if somebody in a store is sick, they're not telling the wider public.
Mhm.
Okay.
So I think there's fear because there's unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Um so maybe, right, I think the good thing, especially with the school board down here, is that they've moved the date up that they can first re-enter back to October. So the quadmaster, whatever they're calling it, is now shortened till October, so kids can enter back in October, if that makes sense.
Okay. So you mean that a if a parent is choosing to keep their child at home,
And
they
if they want to send them, they can now send them in like the end of October.
rather than in January.
Yes.
Okay.
Um, in all honesty, I don't know how this is gonna go. It may be fine.
It,
So
exactly.
and I'm hoping for the best, like I really am. I think it's more of just like, what if like a classroom gets sick, and then how far does the isolation go? And we haven't heard a lot from the school board. So, but I think that's more of my concern.
Yeah.
But no, I think we are worrying ourselves a little bit too much.
Yeah.
I do agree with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because especially with the studies, like you're right, like Denmark and the Netherlands, and
Yeah.
the cases didn't get worse.
Yeah. 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 I've been nerding out on this as much as I've been like curious for my own safety and my own. I've been nerding out on it because I love educational policy. I know, I'm a total nerd. I know. But
it's not a bad thing, right? You're trying to
it's not.
educate yourself because
Yeah.
you're going back into it. So
Yeah. And see, the thing that I have a question about is, they say that if a child or a staff member, for that matter, shows symptoms, and they get tested and they're negative, they're able to return, but they have to be symptom free for 24 hours. So what does that mean for people who, because cold still exists, flu still exists, and all of these other viruses? If I get a cold, my cold lasts a week. I have a post-viral cough for 2 weeks usually. So if I go and get tested and I know I have a cold and my test comes back negative, do I have to stay home from work for like 2 to 3 weeks?
That's a good question.
Right? Like, these things still exist, and we can't live in a vacuum or a bubble or whatever you want to call it, just because we're being vigilant against one specific strain, right?
Yeah.
So that's been on my mind since they started coming out with all this, but I have yet to find an answer. So,
and the problem is they might not know an answer. They might just be, okay, well, you're not tested positive for this, so you can come back. But right, it takes time to show symptoms for this. That's the problem.
Yeah. Anyways, so I thought that was relevant because it's something everybody is dealing with.
It is.
It's like, my sister had a friend over the other day, and her friend has kids, and I was like, "Are you sending your kids back to school?" And she like laughed, and I said, "It's like the age-old question now. Like, are you sending your kids back to school?" Right?
Yeah, it's a tough It's a tough question to answer, and
it is. Yeah.
No matter what people decide, it's whatever is best for their family, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Anyways, so moving on. What you got?
Next on
What's
your
next?
list?
What's next on your list?
Mine are all about summer, so you go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You're like, okay.
Well, no, I wrote down, if we have time, I thought, instead of playing a game, if we have time, we'll see. We'll see where we get to. Okay. Ellen DeGeneres. Let's talk Ellen DeGeneres. This happened a few weeks ago, but I know you're a huge Ellen fan, so I want to get your take on it.
Okay, so I have watched the Ellen show for years. I am a huge Ellen fan. I am very some people are, don't like her because of her sexuality. I think she's awesome. I love her be kind motto. Her show brings me so much joy. I don't know exactly, obviously you can work at a job and don't have the best experience. I don't really care for the fact that some celebrities have come out and basically said, like, this is what I think of her, because I'm pretty sure not all celebrities are the nicest, because when you have millions in the bank, you don't have to be nice to people.
Yeah.
Um So I really don't know what to think of it. You know, they're doing, Warner Brothers is doing an internal investigation, and you know, it is what it is. And there's been celebrities who have come out and said like they're supporting of her, and I think it would be sad if the show stopped, but obviously there has to be some like some other structures put in place. But the show is big. Like the show's been going on for like 18 years or 17 years, and maybe it got too big. That, you know, but there should be HR, there should be something in place that either, you know, employees maybe were not treated the best. And but
so what did you think of her apology though? Because when her apology came out, so I heard about the story and I automatically thought of you. I didn't really pay that much attention to it because it happened a few weeks ago. But when I saw, or rather I heard the apology, I was like, well, she's kind of pointing the fingers at the producers. She's not really taking any what's the word? Any
blame
responsibility
or responsibility
for what could or allegedly has happened at her place of business.
Which I understand. I don't remember exactly how it was worded. But I know like the producers put out like a apology or whatever. But I feel like she might have done that. So if anything, they get the blame and would get fired. Which I don't agree with, because some of those producers have been with her like almost the entire time. So I did watch the one podcast that I listened to, which is by Catherine Ryan. She talked about it, and she mentioned that if this was a male, a male talk show host, would it be such a big deal?
No, it wouldn't be.
That's like,
yeah, you're right. Now, if there were claims of sexual harassment,
absolutely,
it's a different story. But you're right. You're right. I hadn't looked at it from that perspective. Yeah. It's kind of funny how we have such different standards.
Exactly. Right? But like in terms of like she's seen as this nice person, and like, but backstage, like people, you know, staff were saying she was mean and all of this stuff. But if you think about it, like, you know, she has a lot on her plate. So yeah, maybe she at some point said something that was maybe not that nice, but maybe she just, or like she wasn't always approachable or whatever. Or like they just couldn't talk to her, or but you know, we're not knowing Ellen's side of the story. So I just don't think that's fair. And who knows how long that, or maybe it was I don't even know. Like it just, I don't think that's fair. However, Warner Brothers is doing an investigation. So yeah, I do hope Ellen comes back though, because I did find in her last season she had a lot of guest hosts, which I thought was kind of weird. Yeah, I thought it was sad, but
yeah. Well, would you be doing a show for like however long, almost 20 years? I think I get tired of it too.
Yeah. Or if she's done, I know that she has her Gorilla Fund or whatever they call it, Kenya Fund or the Ellen Fund. So maybe she's focusing on that.
Okay.
But all the best to her.
Yeah. And maybe we'll still get to go see her.
I know.
Someday,
that was one of
soon.
I was gonna apply for tickets to see Ellen, because
I remember you called me in like November and we're like, do you want to go to California?
I really wanted to go see Ellen, because it was like, it's been like a dream of mine. However, now we're just gonna go to Nashville for our 30th birthday year.
You know where else we can go? You'll like this one. We can go to the View.
In New York?
Yeah! You see Whoopi and Megan McCain and Joy.
You just want to go see Megan McCain and have her talk about her political views.
Oh, honestly, I love Megan McCain. I do.
I find it really funny when she like interrupts everybody and like says, "Can I talk?"
Yeah.
Or can
like,
I finish?
Can I get my point across, please?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I really like Megan. She doesn't take any bullshit.
No, she doesn't. She's
I
very
like
much
her.
her father's daughter.
Oh, very much so. Very much.
But
Actually, I got John McCain's one of John McCain's books from the library recently. I should probably start reading it. Although I told you about my New Year's resolution, right? Yeah, I read one book.
Going?
Oh,
yeah.
No, it's out the window. It's August. It's August 15th. Like, that ship has sailed. Anyways, I should really read that book. Oh my goodness. All right. Last topic of mine, and then we'll get to you. Okay, so I turned on Netflix tonight, and I don't even know what it's called. I'm gonna look it up right now. Okay, so there was this show, and it's like an Indian matchmaking show. It's called Indian matchmaking. That's literally what it's called. But it's like this matchmaker who like meets with different people of Indian descent and like finds their perfect person for them. And first when I started watching it, I was like, oh my goodness, I need a matchmaker. Like an arranged marriage would be like, because this online dating app thing is like for the friggin' birds. I hate it. I went on eHarmony last week just for the hell of it, and I got a message from some guy that's like 34 years old, and I'm like,
there you go.
No. I need the matchmaker. I need the Indian matchmaker. So I watched 3 episodes tonight, and I've gone through various phases. So I was like, oh my god, I need a matchmaker.
And then you're like, oh my god, no.
Well, and then I'm like, oh my god, like, maybe. And then at the beginning of the 3rd episode, this couple came on, and they had an arranged marriage. They've been married for 52 years. The husband doesn't, I know, right? The husband doesn't talk anymore to his wife. And she's like, he doesn't talk anymore. So I just talked for myself and I figure everything out by myself. But she's like, I tell my grandchildren, focus on your careers and you will find your perfect person. And I'm like, okay, Auntie, I will focus on my career. I won't worry. I'm only 27. The ship hasn't sailed yet. Anyways, yeah. So I'm watching the Indian matchmaker, and there's this lady on it, and she's like 34. She's a lawyer, but she doesn't like to date other lawyers.
Okay.
But she was set up with a lawyer, and
she's
like, do you like being a lawyer? And he's like, yeah. And she's like, oh. This lady who is like completely type A doesn't like being a lawyer apparently. And she has like a thought on everything, including how to vacation. She doesn't like beaches, but she'll go in the ocean.
Okay.
Yep.
How does she get to the ocean?
I'm not sure.
Like, does a plane fly her?
I guess.
Drop her?
I guess. She's traveled to like 40 countries.
Oh.
Yes, and she wants her perfect person to know where. What was it? What's the pink bird? The flamingo.
The flamingo.
She wants her perfect person to know that flamingos lie in like salt water in some place in Eastern Europe or something. I don't know. But yeah.
So that she asked that question.
Well, no,
where do flamingos lie?
So when she meets with the matchmaker, she tells the matchmaker like her desires for her mate.
Okay.
And she mentioned that she had told somebody that she wanted to go to this place to see these flamingos, and they were like, "What are you talking about?" And so she wants people to know where the flamingos go. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
But the best part was after her date with the lawyer, she's like, "I think things went really well," like to her friends. And he's like, "Yeah, I didn't really like her. I think I have to move on." Oh, yeah. So that's the new series I've been watching. I'm not really sure how many episodes there are, but I'm at the end of episode 3 now.
That sounds really funny.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You should watch it.
I think I started the first episode and I was like, I don't know.
No, you should watch
I
it.
just clicked on it, but I should watch it. It sounds funny.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is.
Regan's like, okay, Auntie.
Okay, Auntie. That's what I said. All right. Like, okay, Auntie.
Like her husband doesn't talk at all, or just doesn't talk to her.
I feel like it might be to her. I mean, if you were married to somebody for 52 years, would you talk to that person by the end of it? Like, would you talk
I don't know.
to like? I mean, you two still communicate now, but would you in like 50 years?
I would hope so. I don't know.
You might have to do all the talking for both of you.
I do talk a lot, so.
Well, you probably do enough for the both of you then.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Even when he doesn't say things, I just kind of fill in the blanks. So that's why we work well.
So that's what I've been watching on Netflix recently. As recently as half an hour ago. That's how fresh it is. All right, what you got, Ash?
Okay. So, I have obviously been doing lots of summer stuff. Mm-hmm. Oh, I've also went for a camp out.
Oh.
I didn't camp out. Liam did.
Oh, cool.
Yesterday. So that was interesting. So, talking about memorable summer experiences, what was your most memorable summer experience that you can think of? Due to the fact that we're 2 weeks away from the end of August. That is cray.
You know what I'm still trying to figure out? I'm trying to figure out how we went offline in March and somehow we ended up in August.
I don't know. Maybe this is all like a time lurch. Like this has all been some weird science experiment and the aliens have taken over.
Probably. Like, yeah, probably. My most memorable summer experience, I think what comes to mind immediately, since you said camping, that's on my mind, is when we used to go to, what was it, Rondo Park or whatever it's called.
Provincial Park. Yeah,
and we would camp for a weekend. I think like once a summer for a few years. That's and then like we took the train up to Ottawa, so I remember that, like that was fun.
Oh, that was fun.
But recently I really haven't traveled anywhere in the last 5 years. Done a lot of day trips, but yeah,
that's very, very cool.
Yes. What is your most memorable experience?
Summer experience. As a kid, it would have been like camping. Like the camping that we did at Rondo. Because we did a lot of stuff in the sand.
Yes, we did, didn't we?
It was like a tradition to like bury each other in sand, which is so funny because I now have this very large dislike of sand. Like it's not even funny. Like it's I don't know if it's like the texture or like I also don't like stuff under my fingernails. So like it's like sand just gets everywhere and I'm like but yeah. But as kids, right, you were just like and now I love, day trips are just fun. So,
Yeah.
but I like camping now. Like I'm good with it. But I'm
Yeah.
more of now I'm like I don't like sleeping on the ground. I just I don't find that as enjoyable.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
I haven't camped in forever. Like probably since we camped as kids.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think I would be better at glamping nowadays.
Yeah, that's my kind of
Yeah.
camping. It's
Yeah.
glamping.
Yeah. I think I'd
My
be
trailer
okay with
has a
that.
TV in it, so it's
Oh.
glamping. Yes.
Oh. That sounds nice.
I know. I'm excited to
Oh.
camp.
Oh.
Put a
Huh.
little Paw Patrol on for the child. Like it's easy kind of camping.
Huh. That sounds kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. The comforts of home out in the woods.
Exactly. Everybody should do it.
Yeah.
Do you have any like plans for like any end of summer traditions before school starts?
Nope. No, honestly, I don't. I don't really have any like end of summer. Like our my summer traditions are usually going to the Forks of the Thames on Canada Day to watch the
Mm.
fireworks, and we
Mm-hmm.
stand on the Warrencliffe Street Bridge, and it's lined with people on both sides. There's cars that drive past at like 60 kilometers an hour, and it's great people watching. Like you see, one year there was a cop chase down Warncliffe Road with like 7 cop cars. Other years there's like crazies like biking up and down the road or whatever. People with like wagons with their kids on the street as cars are like passing by them. Yeah, it's pretty wild. But as for like end of summer traditions, I really don't have any. It's just kind of like a new season, you know. I feel like school is always kind of like that marker of a new year rather than like
Mm-hmm.
the new year. So,
Mm-hmm.
I yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie, I'm excited for fall. I love fall. It's my
Mhm.
favorite time. Like my neighbors' leaves are falling and I'm like, ooh, fall. I'm excited to put up like my fall Scentsy. Like
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. No, I love fall. Home Sense and
yes.
Marshalls. They have fall everything. There's
Yeah.
Halloween candy in friggin' Walmart.
There's Halloween stuff up in there's Halloween stuff up in Dollarama because I was in there yesterday and
Mhm.
Liam's like, oh look, look at all the candy. I'm like, no, no,
And he's like, "Oh,
no.
come on, mom."
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I don't know. It will be weird this year because right there's like no fairs and like the really big thing down here is hair fair. Um, so that's not
Yeah.
gonna happen, but
Yeah.
it's kind of strange. But
It is. It really is.
do you want to play a game?
Sure.
What do you want to play? Unless you want to talk about something else.
I don't really have anything else to talk about.
Do you have anything else going on for next week?
I love your British accent.
Oh, thank you. It's really bad.
It's better than mine. I
Oh,
can't do
thanks.
one.
Yeah.
Next week I have nothing. You know what? I have like, when you have all sorts of things that you should do,
Oh,
but you don't want to
100%. Yeah,
do.
yeah.
That was like this past week. Like I had a ton of stuff I should have been doing,
Mhm.
but I spent a lot of time in the woods. And you know what? Next week is supposed to be really nice. And I
Mhm.
kind of plan on spending more time in the woods. The ongoing joke is like, I'm safe from COVID as long as I stay in the woods.
Yeah.
So it's a good excuse.
Mhm.
Yeah. I might try and get to another beach next week.
Yeah.
No, okay. Before we okay, what it when since we're talking summer, When is the best time to go to the beach?
I would say mornings because it's before because your hot time's between 12 and 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say mornings.
Okay. I'm going to tell you my favorite time to go to the beach, and this is going to sound really weird.
That's okay.
So the best time to go to the beach, in my opinion, is in October.
Because of the light?
Because of the light, yes. It's not busy. It's still sunny.
Yeah.
And the waves are incredible. Although yesterday was a really good day to go to because it was overcast. And the waves were still really rough. But yes, my favorite time to go to the beach is October. The beginning of October. I know, very specific.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
I thought you just meant to physically go to the beach. I was like, might be a little bit cold in October.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No. Okay. I got something, and then we'll play a game. If you
Okay.
like. You can pick the game. Okay.
Sure.
Why do we tell actors to break a leg?
I don't know why.
Because every play has a cast.
That was
I looked up a bunch of different jokes. I thought this might be a little different. I needed a good laugh. Did you hear about the new restaurant called Karma? There's no menu. You get what you deserve. What kind of exercise do lazy people do? Diddly squats. Did you hear about the astronaut? Sorry, did you hear about the claustrophobic astronaut? He just needed a little space. These are kind of lame, but they're also I think they're funny because they're lame. Did you hear about the mathematician who was afraid of negative numbers? He'll stop at nothing to avoid them.
Oh my god. This is so bad.
Helvetia and Times New Roman walked into a bar. Get out of here, shouts the bartender. We don't serve your type.
Oh, Regan.
How do you make a tissue dance?
A tushy dance?
How do you make a tissue dance? Put a little boogie in it.
Oh.
What did one hat say to the other? You wait here, I'll go on ahead. Once my dog ate all the Scrabble tiles. He kept leaving little messages around the house. Okay, last one. Where does Batman go to the bathroom? The bat room. Oh my goodness, those were so bad.
They were. However, I can remember, where does Batman go to the bathroom? The bat room.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, what do you want to play?
I have a this or that summer edition.
Perfect.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think we need music here. Maybe I'll put some music in. Okay. I'm ready.
Where's the music?
Oh, I meant when I edit it, I'll put music in. I mean, I could play some music. Here, just hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. This or that!
Okay, ready for this or that summer edition.
Okay.
Okay, so would you rather beach or mountains?
Beach, but I do want to go to the mountains.
Okay, I would probably do mountains. Okay, would you rather a travel or staycation?
Travel. I'm tired of staycations.
Ooh, I would probably say travel. Ocean or lake?
I've never seen the ocean before, so ocean.
You went to Florida. I thought you saw the ocean.
No, we went to Orlando.
True point.
We went to Disney World. My parents okay, so when we went to Disney World, we always did like the whole like thing where you hop on the bus and they drive you and you stay at the resort. We literally just stayed in Disney because my parents didn't like to drive around, and go see other things. So no, I've never seen the ocean. I've been deprived of seeing the ocean my entire childhood. Or I guess I'm an adult now. Anyways, I'd like to go to the ocean.
Okay, I would probably say ocean due to the fact that I, can see a lake every day.
Yep.
Literally.
Yep.
It's not that pretty.
It really isn't. No,
not really.
No.
Unless you can't see a lake, then see it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Sunscreen or tanning lotion?
Oh, 100% sunscreen.
Sunscreen.
Yep.
Prevent those sunburns.
That's right. Melanoma's no joke, people.
Like
skin cancer kills.
This is a PSA for
PSA. Yep. Melanoma. Serious shit.
Would you rather ice cream or slush? I'm guessing that means slushy.
Ice cream.
Yeah, I would too.
Yep.
Because so many different flavors.
Yeah.
Camping or pool party?
Sorry, camping or what?
Camping or pool party?
I
don't even see you anymore. It's just the world. No, Regan.
I'm out of this world. I would say a camping.
Yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
Okay, early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Yeah, me too. Sundress or overalls?
Sundress. I haven't worn overalls since I was a kid.
I'll go with sundress, but I feel like some people might want me to say overalls.
Mm-hmm.
Water balloons or slip and slide?
Water balloons.
Yeah, I'll say water balloons too. However, I do have a funny story about slip and slides. I broke my brother's slip and slide when I was 12 because I was too large for it. True story. I slid into the end of it and it broke.
I bet he was devastated.
Yeah. Suntan or swimming? Swimming. Yep. And that is This and Us Summer Edition.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Here, we need the music. Wait. There we go. I don't know why this is so bad. All the other ones have been fine.
No, literally, there was a spot where you were you weren't there. It was just, there you go. It went back there where you were gone. It was just the world.
Oh my goodness. Anyway. Anything else you want to talk about tonight?
I think I'm good.
I am good too. All right. So thanks for listening to episode 5. We hope you had a little bit of fun with us because I think we had fun tonight. I have fun every Saturday with you, Ashley.
I have fun too, and I hope you learned a little bit, and I hope you were educated on a few things, and
yeah,
and check us out. Episodes drop on Saturdays. On a whole bunch of platforms.
Oh no, don't worry, I'm gonna listen. Okay, you can listen. You can find us. Okay, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, our website at Launchpad. I'm sure you can find us also on Podcast One. And guess what, Ashley?
What?
After last week's episode, Saturday Night Convos joined the social media world. We now have Instagram and Twitter. You can follow us at Saturday Night Convos. I know it's a very creative name. It's the same for Twitter and Instagram, so you can follow us there. You can direct message us if you want to tell us that we're doing something horrible or you really like what you're listening to. Yeah, don't forget to rate us, subscribe, comment, email us at saturdaynightconvos@gmail.com. Get in touch with us. We'd love to know what y'all think of this thing that we're doing. Yeah. And oh yes, and we're on YouTube. I forgot to list YouTube. We're on YouTube. Yes, I know. Very important.
It is.
All right, guys, have a great week.
Have a great week, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.